Hello there, greetings everybody. I want to welcome you here to Prog Monster. My name is Murph. I am the host of this show. This is a show dedicated to progressive rock and other forms of rock music. So we're back with my Monday nights look back at a classic rock album. Now over 160 episodes done on just this one particular thing, and I actually kind of like this quite a bit, so easy for me to do. So we're going to be doing tonight Phil Collins' No Jacket Required, released February the 18th, 1985, recorded at the Townhouse Studio in London, England, and the Old Croft in, I think it's, Shelford, Surrey in the UK as well. About 50 minutes in length. It's on the Virgin label in the UK and Ireland, and then you have it on Atlantic Records in the United States and Canada, and then on WEA or WEA in the rest of the world. This was produced by none other than Phil Collins himself and Hugh Padgham. I always want to say Padgham. Anyways, I wonder which one this one is. Yeah, this is a North American release. It's got Atlantic label on it. So this album, before we get into it, I'll give you some of the background stats. There's quite a bit of people on this album doing quite a bit of things. He really went kind of all out here, I think. So we have Phil Collins, of course, on vocals, backing vocals, keys, bass, drums, some Linn drum here, electronic drum, vocoder, and kalimba. Then you got David Frank on keyboards, Mini Moog, and Oberheim. Nick Glennie on Nick Glennie Smith, that's what I'm trying to say, on keys. You got Daryl Stromer on guitars and some keyboards as well. Leland Schuyler on bass, piccolo bass as well. And then you got the Phoenix Horns, which was arranged by Tom Tom 84. And in that group was Don Myrick on sax and sax solo on tracks 5 and 6. You've got Louis Satterfield on trombone, Michael Harris on trumpet, and Romley Michael Davis on trumpet. And then you got Gary Barnacle on sax solo on tracks 4 and 7. And then pretty much after that you have Arif Marsden on string arrangements and orchestral arrangements. And then you have some backing vocals on track number 10 by Sting, Peter Gabriel, and Helen Terry. And then Sting is also doing some backing vocals on track number 3. So this is for lack of a better term, a very poppy album. And normally I would never listen to something like this. But, I mean, one thing about Phil Collins I can actually say without any kind of thought process put in it, he's really good at making catchy kind of poppy, dancey type music songs. He's really good at it. This whole album is a proliferation of that. But there are some catchy tracks, and I know they're catchy because I find myself singing them, even though they're not stuff that I normally would listen to. The opening track, Susudio, well-known song. Everybody knows this song. I don't really know what a Susudio is. I'm assuming that it's a word that he uses for something, but I do not know. I've been listening to this track for, well, almost 40 years now, and I still do not know what that means. But I do like it. Really catchy, up-tempo. Makes a good dance song as well. Only You Know What I Know. This track, it's a decent track. It's got a fair bit of trumpets on it, which I've always been a trumpet guy because I played trumpet in high school. So part of me liking it is because of that. A Long, Long Way to Go is the next track. This is a pretty mellow song. Lots of percussion bits in it. Quirky kind of percussion bits. There's a couple of bits in here that make me think that they're using a vibraphone, and I'm not sure that's the case. It could just be individual pieces of a vibraphone that they're using. I'm not sure what it is, but it sounds like that to me. The next song out, I don't want to know, and neither do I, so I'll skip that one. One More Night. Of course, this is another fairly big hit. It's a ballad. I'm not a huge ballad fan, but this guy does ballads as good or better than almost anybody out there. So if you like ballads, this is your man right here. Don't Lose My Number. Yes, of course, this is another huge mega hit for him. Billy, Don't Lose My Number. One of the biggest hits on this album. I don't know which one's bigger. Anybody have an idea that whether it's Susudio or Don't Lose My Number, one of these two is his big hit off of this album? And I personally think it's probably this one, but I could be wrong. Who Said I Would? This is a song that I don't really listen to all that much. Who Said I Would? It's okay. It's an okay track. I don't mind it, but it's not really a track I listen to too much. The next one that I really kind of like is Take Me Home, which is another kind of ballad range song, but I think it's a little more than a ballad. It's kind of a little bit of a story. But his vocals are great on that song. I think it's probably one of the better songs on the track. The last track is forgettable, so we'll forget it. In and Out is okay. Doesn't Anybody Stay Together Anymore? This is an interesting track. He's kind of commenting on society's people changing. They don't get married for life anymore. They change their husbands and wives as often as maybe they change where they live. And so I kind of like that song too. It's a decent song. This is, like I said, this is a very kind of a poppy album, but it's catchy as hell. A lot of catchy riffs in here. His vocals are great. His use of reed instruments and brass instruments is really good. But at times it really does border on dance music at points in time. So it's not an album I listen to a lot, but I do occasionally put it on because I like that up-tempo feel that he does have with this album. So there you have it. Phil Collins, No Jacket Required. This is actually his third studio album. My favorite, not my favorite. Probably one of my top three though. But great album nevertheless. And I thought today, since I haven't done a Phil Collins since In the Air Tonight, almost right at the beginning of when I was doing this, I decided it's time to do another one. So that's it. So if anybody likes this album or has anything or any comments to write about this album, please put them in the comment section below. I don't know why this always happens. Maybe I have stage fright, but it gives me like my throat gets all itchy. I don't know why. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please hit the like and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. And we will be back next Monday night with another look back at yet another classic rock album. So I hope to see you then. Take care and have yourself a good night. Goodbye.